Hi everyone, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of March 28 to April the 3rd. Thank you for your nice comments and your support. I really appreciate it, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel and push the notifications bell as well if you want to see more videos like this one. I hope you had a nice week. Let me know about your experiences in the comments below and how the energies we see in the cards manifested for you. And if you want to check last week's energies, you can always click on the link above. If you want to have a detailed and personal session with me, you can always find me on my psychic platform www.kassiekai.com, where you get 3 free minutes with your subscription. Today we'll be using the Marseille Cat Tarot, a deck inspired by the classic Marseille Tarot, but instead of humans it features some adorable cats. A perfect deck for the cat lover. But without further ado, let's see what the predictions for next week are. For Aries we had the 4 of Wands and now it's the 10 of Wands. Life will never leave us rest on our laurels for too long. You had the 4 of Wands last week, and under this energy perhaps you took a break, a breather, and maybe you celebrated a success, not necessarily a life-changing success, although it could be that too, but it could be something you accomplished successfully with other people, or a solution you have found, or a stage that has been completed. But now the atmosphere is changing, because the 10 of Wands is a very different energy. It shows you will have too many things to do this week, you will take on too many responsibilities that not all of them will be yours necessarily. When this card comes up, we have a tendency to do that, to take on more than we should, or we don't know when to stop trying, not letting anyone share our burden. If you want to know how something will progress, things will get busier and you will have a lot to do this week, and there might be some pressure too. If you want to know how something will progress, things will get busier and you will have a lot to do this week, and there might be some pressure too. For instance, someone will be making too many demands on you, or you will make too many demands, or you will have too many expectations from someone, and you may feel that you are pushing each other's buttons. That won't be necessarily intentional, it's just that there are all those expectations and different needs that cause this. If you want to know how someone feels, they feel some tension around your connection. Maybe they feel they cannot live up to your expectations because your expectations are too high at this stage, or they have many other things to do and your priorities are not really aligned. Astrologically, the 10 of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius represents our dreams, our visions, our future, so you will be making plans for your future. However, Saturn may put some obstacles in the way, some tests that you have to pass before he opens the doors that will lead to the realization of your dreams. You may think of this time as a lesson, as an exam that you have to take to show the universe that you qualify for the next stage. Events that happened between 13 and 20 December this week will probably come to a resolution or a completion. For Taurus we had the 10 of Cups, and this week it's the Justice. With the 10 of Cups you must have experienced some very positive moments last week, something that made you feel really well, and maybe other people have been involved in that too, as tens show that other people play a key role and there must have been strong emotions too. The 10 of Cups is the highest manifestation of the suit of Cups that represents emotions, but this week the atmosphere is changing because you will filter your situation and the matters you are dealing with through logic and reason. The decisions, the way you see things won't be as emotional as last week. With the Justice, you will want to do the right thing, and since that's a card that shows commitments of any kind, professional or personal, you may have to find a balance between different responsibilities you have. And there might be a lesson around one of those commitments, a lesson that you should not overlook. And in fact, if you show the universe that you made your homework and you learned that lesson, you will be rewarded, and usually the reward that the universe gives is that it removes obstacles and it allows you to get to the next stage. While if you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over, in most cases you will feel stuck, as if no matter what you do, the door you want to go through appears to be shut. And that's actually the case with Justice. It's the card of cause and effect. So your actions this week will cause certain reactions, and the actions of another will get you to give your own reactions too. But if what you did didn't work, now there's an opportunity to make things a little different and see if that brings the desired change. Events that happened between 23 September to 22 October may come to a resolution now, especially if there's been a legal matter that concerns you, while in about 8 days something will happen that will make something official, or something will be finalized then. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they are weighing you up and they haven't really decided yet what to do. They do want to have a balanced and fair relationship with you, so at this stage it appears that they will try to maintain that balance without being too emotional or too logical. So make sure that you don't put unnecessary pressure on them by chasing them or giving them too much unneeded attention. You too should strive for balance at this stage. For Gemini, we had the Page of Cups and now the Six of Pentacles. After 2 rather emotional weeks, you will be now dealing with practical matters, either in personal relationships or in your personal life. You will have to see whether what you give is proportional to what you get. There might be some adjustments that you'll have to make in one area of your life and make a fair deal that will bring more balance to a situation. So you can use this energy to your advantage to create a more harmonious give and receive. This week you may have to reevaluate how you spend your time, your money and your resources in general, and make adjustments if you have to. If you want to know how something will progress, things are getting more serious and more stable too, because from the watery nature of last week's Page of Cups, now it shifts to the stable and earth nature of the Six of Pentacles. So things will get more practical, more solid, which is a good thing if too much emotion has tired you. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they are mirroring your feelings, as that's often the case with sixes. They do show a kind of mirroring. So if you treat them nice and warm, they will reflect those feelings back on you, while if you take distance, you may find that they too take distance. The Six of Pentacles astrologically is Moon in Taurus, and that's a very beneficial and comfortable placement for the Moon, as it basically means that you are going to manifest the experience and resources you need to feel comfortable with your life, and comfort is a key word for this week in general, as that's what you will seek in order to feel emotionally fulfilled and secure in a situation. Within 5-6 days, you will make a very beneficial agreement or deal, and make a note for the days between the 1st and the 10th May, as that's when something really positive is going to happen, something that will bring balance to a situation that has been difficult or unstable. For Cancer, we had the 10 of Pentacles and now the Emperor. The Emperor shows that this week you will have to deal with someone, probably a male who is a fire sign, Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, and that person is being stubborn and set in his ways, but you need to understand that's his method, his way to stay in control. Maintaining control over a situation or over a relationship seems to be very important for this person. However, this week, if you feel that you gave up your power for too long, now you will probably want to take it back, especially if that person makes a decision for you, a decision that may not be exactly what you wish. Taking initiative is the way to take charge now, and if you want to know how something will progress, the energy of this week is saying that this is your time to take back your power and start setting your own rules. And with the 10 of Pentacles you had last week, there may be too many rules, too many restrictions that you're dealing with all this time, and you are now getting tired. If you want to know how someone feels about you, attraction is there and it's strong, but there are also power struggles in your relationship with this person. It's about who will have their way ultimately, and that will probably cause some contrasts, some arguments. However, the energy of the Emperor can make something more structured, more defined, especially situations that have been chaotic and unstable. Expect that within the coming days and until the 20th April, you will experience much more stability and things may get more serious too. However, first you need to know your own mind, to know what you want, to be certain and to be grounded. This week will be about choosing your own destiny. It's about empowering yourself to follow your own purpose and your own path. Also, with the 10 of Pentacles last week, you may have to deal with a family matter involving an older male, your father for instance, or a father figure, or you may have to get involved in property and financial matters, and there might be a very important meeting that you'll have to attend, a meeting that you may have to organize and moderate somehow. For Leo, we had the King of Pentacles and now the Judgment. This week there will be news or a notice about a material matter that you'll have to deal with in order to be able to move forward with something. That can be a work issue or a money issue or a practical matter that needs to be resolved within a relationship, and in that process you may feel that someone's judging you or that you are getting judgmental of someone's actions or words, as you may feel that they come across as too serious, too controlling or too demanding in a way that you don't feel comfortable with. The Judgment is a rebirth, and when it comes to how someone feels about you, there might be a resurrection of feelings, so to speak, bringing back feelings one thought were gone, and that probably refers to a person who's an earth sign or ascendant, Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, as the King of Pentacles indicates. And that means something or someone from your past is going to resurface, but be a little cautious because issues that caused distance, arguments and contrasts before seem to be there still, and there's a high risk of a repeat. The universe is now giving you the chance to start afresh, but in order for things to work, you need to shed the old skin first. This week will test you to see how well you have learned lessons of the past, so try not to repeat past mistakes that led to unpleasant situations. For that reason, the Judgment is considered a karmic card, and that's why the person we mentioned before may feel a very strong karmic bond with you, and you will probably feel the same. So I expect there will be this strong connection that at times it feels really strange and unexplained, and you may feel that you can't help but keep connecting with that person. It's true that some events cannot be avoided and they have that fated flavor in them, but we should not tolerate any kind of bad behavior in the name of fate or karma. In around 20 days from now, there will be an event that will happen and will open a new door for you. So try to use this time as a time of preparation, of reviewing your past and the lessons you learned then, so that you now make a new beginning that will lead to a more positive result for you. For Virgo, we had the Empress and now the Seven of Pentacles. You must have made some progress last week, and under the Empress's energy, you must have felt optimistic and that you are getting somewhere, but this week energies are slowing down and you will feel that progress is being suspended, or something that you've been waiting for seems to take too long or longer than you expected. And truth is, you have made efforts and you've tended to something so patiently that you'd wish you'd have produced results by now, so things that appeared to be developing last week may now come to a pause, and that can make you feel a little disappointed. However, since you're determined to see something through until the end, you will probably step back and wait a little longer. The Seven of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus, and Taurus represents all those things that make us feel good, but also practical matters, so there might be some issues of practical nature that will require your attention, and also some obstacles you'll have to overcome. However, you will also notice that someone will get more dependable and also more committed to something. If there has been a financial problem in the previous week, this week there will be improvement and more stability. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, it appears that they are weighing up your connection and you. They are putting thought into your relationship, wondering whether it will work, but also what they will get out of this. And there might be some frustration too, as is often the case with this card, usually because the next steps are not really clear, as the progress of something depends on other factors too, factors that are usually beyond our control. However, things are growing slowly, which means that you should not get impatient and you shouldn't push things in any way. Remember, you cannot force a flower to grow. Any kind of force would probably destroy it. So that's how you should see the energies of this week. The end of the week seems to hold the strongest energy, so expect that on Saturday or Sunday something will happen that will probably show you what the next stage will be like. But until then, try to remain patient. We had a powerful full moon in your sign, Virgo, and you can see how you can tap into its energy by clicking on the link above. For Libra, we had the Temperance and now the Page of Wands. The vibe is changing this week, and from the slow and passive energy of the Temperance, you pass to the fast and enthusiastic energy of the Page of Wands. There will be something that you want to create, something that you want to do, but you may not know quite how to do it. So perhaps you'll be dealing with something that's still immature and can't go any further at the moment, but there is potential, passion and creativity, all the ingredients needed to achieve even what seems impossible. And the energy of the Temperance that's still around you suggests a little moderation. Your ideas can be made better if you rein in over-the-top impulses and you look for ways to integrate other ideas, other approaches. If you look for a balanced and moderate understanding of all the relevant details first, your passion will be more focused. Mixing drive and emotion, taking action in concert with intuitive reflection is your best bet. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, it appears that they are now realizing the initial sparks of desire, so there is attraction, something that they may not have been aware of before, or they have a crush on you, and sexual energies are really intense at this stage. Expect they will make a move to show you their interest, as wands are cards of action, and their favorite way of expression is to act on their thoughts and their feelings. As pages are also message bearers, expect that you will receive a positive message or an offer that perhaps will have to do with work, as the Page of Wands is one of the cards that often foretells a job offer. The beginning of the week will be busier, so Monday and Tuesday will be the strong days, while if you've been waiting for something that was delayed or blocked, now at last blocking energies seem to be released and things will start moving forward finally. Pages represent the initial stages and the first steps we take towards a goal, so keep in mind that between now and your end goal, There are several stages that cannot be skipped, and make sure that you don't try to take shortcuts out of impatience. For Scorpio, we had the Chariot and now the Ten of Swords. You must have dealt with an obstacle or a difficulty last week, as the Chariot usually points to difficulties we have to face, but it's those difficulties that can be solved as we keep working on them and don't give up. And it gives the promise that if we keep at it, we'll score a big victory in the end. So you must have had the drive and the stamina to pursue something. However, now with the Ten of Swords, there might be obsessive thinking. Don't forget that swords are our thoughts and our way of thinking, so there will probably be something that you are thinking about non-stop and cannot get it out of your mind. Since tens represent the most of their suit, this 10 means that you are thinking about something or someone as much as you can, which can be really overwhelming if we are talking about thoughts that aren't very positive, about worries or fears, as is often the case with this 10. If you're wondering how someone feels, the Ten of Swords often means that someone is too overwhelmed with troubles to even consider their feelings, and there might be some trust issues too, especially if you have a history with this person and your experience with them hasn't always been positive, and perhaps they are being a little too melodramatic about your connection or how it should be, or for one reason or another they are feeling pinned down by negative feelings, and that's because they are too focused on the negative points of your connection. The Ten of Swords is the Sun in Gemini, and the Sun in Gemini is like a chameleon that changes all the time, so you won't be able to trust what you see or what you hear this week. But if you have the ability to adapt quickly to new situations, that will give you a great advantage. However, since swords are communication and words, it's very important to stick to the facts and avoid over-dramatizing a situation or putting yourself in the position of a victim, or you may find that another is trying to be quite dramatic and they talk about the problem over and over again, like beating a dead horse. Within 10 days, there will be a big shift and new information, and you will be able to see a situation under a very different light. For Sagittarius, we had the Page of Swords and now the Devil. Perhaps you got an interesting message last week, a message that either gave you part of the truth of a situation or you got a piece of information that made things more complicated. As all pages indicate a learning process that can eventually lead to mastery of any situation, it's possible that you are dealing with a life lesson that you need to learn, or you need to show that you've learned a lesson that life gave you before, and that's because the presence of the Devil indicates a bad habit that you need to give up or to control. And when I'm saying a bad habit, I don't necessarily mean smoking or drinking or even overeating. A bad habit can also be an obsession we have over something or someone, or an addiction, an unhealthy emotional attachment, and this week you will be asked to deal again with the same challenge, but the message of this combination is that you can try and deal with it in a different way that will possibly produce different results. So if you're wondering how a situation will develop, there might be a desire to control another person, or another person will try to control you, and there can be manipulation through intense emotional connections, or perhaps someone will play with your insecurities intentionally or not. So if you find yourself in any of the above positions, your best weapon is clear and direct communication that will not allow room for covert tactics. If you want to know how someone feels about you, sexual attraction is very strong and there might be some form of codependence between you. Also, they may be obsessed with you for one reason or another, so even if not all aspects of your connection are healthy, at the same time there's also a strong desire to remain connected. The devil often represents a person in your life who's Capricorn, Sun or Ascendant, and it also points to events that happened between 21st December and 20 January, events that may somehow come to a resolution or a completion this week. The devil is a very good sign for money and material matters. That's why you can expect that this week you will make some extra money, or perhaps you will buy an expensive object or service. For Capricorn, we had the Star and now the King of Pentacles. The Star last week showed you an opportunity or a faraway possibility that is open to you, and this week with the King of Pentacles, perhaps you will decide to make practical efforts or to plan how to achieve a goal that you have in mind. And the King of Pentacles can be a male of an Earth Sun or Ascendant that will probably play a role in those plans, and together you will set a common goal to accomplish something of great significance. That could be a professional matter, or it can be a relationship that needs some more effort to become more stable or more serious, as Pentacles point to situations that are serious, solid and long-lasting. This man loves structured and methodical work. That's why spontaneous or unpredictable moves will probably not be appreciated. He wants to play safe and he will avoid risks or impulsive moves. So if you want to know how something will progress, this week you'll get the chance to establish a base, a foundation to build upon in the future, but developments will be slow, mind you, so you need to manage impatience, as feeling impatient and impulsive will get you out of tune with this energy and will probably cause a contrast with another person who wants to take things more slowly, as they want to be certain that they're doing what will bring the best possible results. It's possible that you'll have to deal with a family or property matter in which a conservative approach is advised, so try to avoid bold or risky moves, especially if you're making long-term plans and investments. A practical matter is completing this week, so expect good news about loans, money and career. A significant event is going to happen between early April and early May, when there will be some sort of completion or culmination of something that's starting now. If you want to know how someone feels about you, their feelings are getting stronger and they are more certain now of what they want from this connection with you, so you can expect they will do things in a more serious and more grounded manner. For Aquarius, we had the Ace of Wands and now the Lovers. Last week you got an opportunity that pushed you to take action, or a new door opened for you, and now with the Lovers it appears that your actions have led to a serious decision that you need to make. The Lovers usually point to personal relationships and decisions we need to make around the close relationships in our life. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, their feelings are quite strong and there are romantic and sexual feelings. However, they may have to make a choice before things can really go ahead with them. So they may have to choose between you and another person, or between two different paths they could take, and this will be a week of decisions, and the energy of last week will help you with that, in the sense that the Ace of Wands is what makes us feel passionate, what motivates us, so it's safer to go with what makes you feel enthusiastic and excited, even if that means you'll have to be bold and spontaneous. Overthinking things is not advised under this energy, because that could lead you to paths that will not be good for your happiness. It could lead to delays and procrastination. The Lovers is one of the karmic cards in Tarot. That's why it often foretells events that have a fated feel, like an unexplained attraction you feel towards someone or something, or you may meet someone you feel that you've known before. Now, since we can just speculate about such concepts, it's good to explore connections of this kind and see what kind of experiences or lessons they have to offer. However, We should not tolerate behavior that makes us feel bad or offended in the name of karma or soulmates. I always say that about the karmic cards because it's easy to get very confused if you feel that something is meant to be, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept any kind of behavior. The Lover says the number 6, and 6 symbolizes balance, so balance and harmony should be a priority in all your relationships. No relationship is perfect, of course, but a good relationship is one that makes us feel secure and appreciated. It's one that makes us feel that we matter. There might be a very positive development or news around Saturday, so make a note for that day. For Pisces, we had the Moon and now it's the Three of Swords. This week confusion ends, as from the hazy and dark atmosphere of the Moon, you pass to the crystal clear realization of the truth that the Three of Swords represents. And yes, at times the truth of these three can be a little uncomfortable, but at the same time, if there were fears that have been piling up and you felt that someone was lying to you, or you felt that you lived in a state that was not real, now you will be able to see the truth in a way that will liberate you. If you want to know how someone feels, there might be a pause or a disruption because their feelings are not very positive at the moment. Perhaps you had a fight with that person and they felt you were unfair to them, or they felt that they could not live up to your expectations. Also, communications may not be very stable or frequent these days because there are things that need to be said or there are things that haven't been said. Something that happened between October the 3rd and October the 12th may be paused temporarily this week, and that might be related to communications, or there might be a disagreement about something that happened around that time. The Three of Swords is Saturn in Libra, and that means you will be diplomatic, tactful, and your balanced judgment will inspire trust. That means you may be asked to act as a mediator that will help a group of persons who have been involved in an argument to come to an agreement. However, this placement can at times show limitations within relationships. So, for instance, there might be something that does not allow you to be with your partner at the moment, an external obstacle that needs to be removed out of the way so that things start moving again. Also, you may find that someone who's been unfair to you is now changing their attitude, and you may even receive an apology. Wednesday is the day that holds the strongest energy this week. However, be aware of how you express your feelings, as you may say something that will hurt another person. Being honest is a good thing, but too much honesty can at times be cruel and rude. So these were the tarot horoscopes for the week of March 28 to April the 3rd. I hope you enjoyed them and I will see you next week. Have a nice and productive week.